"Talk," said her sister. "Yeah," Harriet had ambled over. "Talk." From the way the plump orange and white cat was licking her chops, Becca suspected she'd been cleaning the breakfast dishes rather than her luxurious fur. Still, if she was going to trail Becca, Clara had to rally her sisters to her side and fast. "I think this has to do with that man she was out with the other night." This was for Laurel, whose tail lashed once, back and forth, in interest. "He's been texting her, though it could be a shopping trip." That was for Harriet. But the plan almost backfired. Wait a minute. Harriet wasn't usually that quick on the uptake, but when food was involved, she didn't let much get past her. "You're just saying that." "Look, if you want to join me, you can." Already, Becca's footsteps were growing fainter. "I'm simply worried about her, and she is our responsibility." Harriet looked at Laurel, and Laurel stared back. Clara held her breath, whiskers trembling. Becca was almost out of earshot already. But the little calico had hit on the one truth that all real cats know. Laurel lifted her paw, and in a flash, Clara was out the door, ignoring both its wooden solidity and the latch that had locked it shut. "Make sure she brings back treats," Harriet called after her youngest sibling, but she was already gone. Quickly fading her orange patches to gray, Clara did her best to blend in with the morning's shadows. Still, in her haste, she nearly tripped a young mother, busy with her toddler, and had to act fast to dodge a bike messenger cutting across the sidewalk to avoid construction. Her haste paid off, however, as she caught a whiff of Becca's clean, warm scent, and soon enough, the sight of her dark curls bobbing through the crowd. "Maddie's right," she was saying to herself, in a voice too soft for any human ear to catch. "I need to get back to work, at least on my own work. It's too easy to rely on web searches, and how can I expect anyone to hire me if I don't keep up with primary sources?" Her musing and her stride were cut short by the buzz of her phone, for although the young woman kept up her jaunty pace as she fished the device out of her pocket, a quick glance at the screen stopped her cold. "No," she exclaimed, before even answering. No." She shoved the phone back into her pocket and shut her eyes. By the time she opened them, a few seconds later, her phone had ceased its buzzing. "I'll call them back later," she promised out loud. "Even the police can't expect everyone to take every call." But it was with a more tentative step that she set out. And when a car drove slowly by, she stopped once more. Black and white at its ends, with a slash of gold in the middle. It resembled nothing so much as a calico like herself, Clara thought. Only the sight of the vehicle, or maybe it was the words written on its side, had Becca gasping. "They can't!" She paused, her thought unfinished, and turned slowly to check out the road behind her. "Are the police following me?" Clara had never really envied either of her sisters their particular powers before. Right now, though, she wished she were better at suggestion. Watching her person, frozen with indecision, or could it be fear, was heartrending. Surely the appearance of the cruiser, coming right after that rejected call, was coincidental. Besides, she thought, no one could suspect the sweet young woman of murdering her friend, no matter what her unfaithful ex may have suggested to the police. "Jeff!" One word, spit out like a pill, and Becca turned to walk quite purposefully in the opposite direction. As Clara realized where she was heading, she had to wonder if perhaps she possessed some of Laurel's skill after all. "Jeff Blakey, please." Becca stood at the steel and glass front desk of the Kendall Square startup. Before the purple-haired receptionist could do more than open her mouth, she continued, "Tell him Becca Colwyn is here." Right away. The receptionist, who couldn't have been much more than Becca's age, bent over the phone and turned away as much as she dared.